Alrighty, whenever you guys are.
James, you can kick us off.
Yeah, I'll start off a couple injury things. Do you have any other updates on DeForest Buckner? I know he shared via his Instagram over the weekend that he had gone to Panama to get some things done for his neck.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add on that. I know he got that done, and then we'll see how he progresses here in the next few weeks.
And do you expect him to play again this year?
That's the hope. Yeah, absolutely.
And then a follow up to some IR stuff. Anthony Richardson, Javarius Ward, both eligible to come off IR this week. Do you have any updates there for those two?
I don't. I'll probably have an update for you guys on Wednesday. AR is still, rehabbing, getting better there, and then I should have some more information for you guys on Wednesday on Mooney.
Chap?
Yeah, Coach, I'm just curious. I mean, the bye came when the bye came. It gives guys a chance this late in the season to sort of, you know, recoup, I guess. Do you balance that with losing momentum? Is momentum a thing in the NFL to where you
Yeah,
know how the offense is going and now maybe you got to restart or not?
Yeah, yes and no. I think obviously momentum's real in the league, but I also think it gives the players some time to recover and the nicks and bruises that these guys have to take care of those things, to have that bye and get their bodies right, and then get locked in this week and be ready to go.
One of the quickie follow up. I don't know what your message is to the team, but you guys at 8-2 are in position to do something. Do you have to tell the players that as much as they've done, they really have got so much more to do? Is that just a crazy
No, that's
idea?
fair. That's a fair statement. Obviously, we got a lot ahead of us. And like I said, my message all year hasn't changed and it's not going to change. It's one day at a time and getting better, and focus on the next opponent and then control what we can control.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Joel?
Shane, I was watching the long run by JT from Berlin and noticed, A AP Alec is lined up on the right side and he ends up leading him down the left side. I know you guys teach receivers to block all the way through a play, but like how rare is it for a guy to be that involved in a play like that when it took
It's
that
huge.
long for JT to bust out?
Yeah, it's huge. I think I mentioned that last week. I think I was asked that the effort there, like that's one of our standards. And to go down there and get that block on the safety coming across field, that's huge. Obviously, the guys up front and then JT making the run was huge. But the effort at the end of the play by Alec and Tyler going down there and hustling to get that third level block, waiting, whatever it was, 60 yards down the field, makes all the difference in the world. So, it was just a huge play by, everybody, especially Alec running down there and getting that block.
Is that kind of one of Alec's hallmarks? Because I know he also runs a ton of routes that are sort of clearing out, you know, a little bit, and you got to run those hard too.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always gives 100% effort on everything. Obviously, running down the field, the intermediate routes, and then blocking on the perimeter is a big part of that. I know the offensive line's doing a hell of a job for JT, springing them free on those runs, but also the perimeter guys, Alec and Pitt and Downs and Doolin, getting those blocks on the perimeter. That's what makes it all go.
Kevin?
Shane, how much is self-scouting in the bye week just like shrinking tendencies, like not trying to like I don't know, overkill is the word popping in my head. It's probably not a great word, but not trying to make the tendencies as drastic as maybe they are.
Yeah, you're on it. That's a good evaluation. I think obviously that's a big part of the bye week is the self scout and going through your tendencies and what you can do better and things you need to switch up, is a big part of our process last week. So obviously we looked at some things and get some things cleaned up, moving in to the second half of the season.
And then whenever Anthony is done rehabbing and good to go, he will be your backup for the rest of the year.
Yeah, if he gets cleared by the doctors.
Nathan?
Hey Shane, I know Lou got quite the reputation a couple years ago in the way in which he was consistently able to, I don't know if shut down is maybe the word you would use for this chief offense, but put the Bengals, in position where they could win a handful of really important games, both in the regular season and the postseason. What what maybe at the time did you make of the way he was able to have some success against what then and still now is a really successful offense, and Do the way in which his defenses were able to attack them because it's a couple years down the road and teams have had chances to adjust, can you guys still use some of those same principles coming into this week, or do you have to do a little bit of a rethink because teams, adjust and then offenses can counter adjust and things like that?
Yeah, I think every year's a new year, and I think you go into each and every week. Obviously he's won against the Chiefs and Mahomes with
Mhm.
his scheme, and obviously you got to mix it up every time you play him. He's a very smart player. They're a good football team. And so, yeah, he's going to have a plan just like they'll have a plan for us. And that's how we go about it without getting too specific there, Nate, for you.
Sure. And then one more for me. I know you guys are 8-2. Chiefs are 5-5, make what have you of records. I imagine this Chiefs team, there's some folks that probably think that this Chiefs team is better than their record shows. I know there's maybe a national sentiment that you guys, despite the 8-2 record, are underdogs coming into this game. This locker room that you have, and you've talked before about guys being able to stay focused and insular and not make a whole lot of that outside noise. Do you feel like this group maybe in some way might be able to embrace that underdog mentality and as you guys go into this game here on Sunday?
Yeah, I think in this league, I think you can throw records out the window each and every week because I think everyone in this league is very good and very talented, and you got to be on your A game no matter what the records are, no matter who you're playing. Um, we know that Kansas City is a hell of a football team. They went to 3 straight Super Bowls. They got one of the best players in the world playing quarterback for them, and they're very talented. So we got to be on all the details and the specifics, going into this game, especially in a hostile environment this week.
Cool. Thanks.
James.
Shane, when you look at your team and the way they've operated offensively, obviously very good this year, number one in scoring. But looking back at the last 2 games, now that you have time to kind of break it down, why do you think I guess, pressure had been up a little bit and the turnovers with Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that last week. I think when I look back at everything, I always look at myself and certain situations. I could have put those guys in better situations with play calls, with some of the stuff that we were doing. So I got to be better for those guys moving forward, so those things don't happen.
I guess what are the keys to I don't want to like nitpick too much, but like, what are the keys to getting to the level you were at, or trying to correct some of those things going forward, despite having all the success you've already had?
Yeah, I think obviously, there's another team trying to stop us over there, and we got to do a good job of taking care of the football, and that's all part of it. And we got to do a better job of that moving forward. And like I said, it starts with myself, and we got to get that cleaned up here moving into this week.
And then just last question back to Nathan.
Hey Shane, I don't think this got asked on Monday. I know you mentioned that there weren't any injury concerns that came out of the Berlin game against Atlanta. I noticed Jalen Jones only got 3 snaps on defense. Just wanted to clarify, was that a matchup thing that you guys saw, or I know coming back in the Pittsburgh game, he saw maybe 50 some odd snaps, and just noticed that dipped and didn't know if that was or if there's anything to that beyond just a matchup consideration that you guys saw or anything else.
Yeah, I think Jalen Jones is a hell of a player. I think part of it too is signing Sauce Gardner was a big part of it too. So, he'll be in the mix and he'll be in the fold for us, as we move forward though.
Thanks.